Hi guys, welcome back to CJ's Keto Kitchen. Tonight we are going to be making another family style favorite, and it is going to be cheesy Mexican skillet. So come along with me and let's get started. So we have quite a few Latin-themed family-style dishes on our channel already. Some of them utilizing different types of meats, and some of them also have riced cauliflower. The one that I'm going to be making tonight does not have riced cauliflower in it to keep the carbs low. But it is very easy. It only has about 4 ingredients, and it only takes a few minutes to make. So we hope that you will enjoy it, and come along with me while I prepare it. So you want to preheat your oven to 375 degrees. It's fairly warm, but we're only going to be cooking it for about 30 minutes. Okay, because this is cheesy Mexican skillet, I'm going to be doing all of this in one dish, my skillet. I'm going to be using my cast iron pan because I am currently enjoying it. You do not have to have a cast iron skillet to do this dish. You can do it in any kind of skillet, and if you do not have a skillet, you could also just use a Dutch oven. I have 3 pounds of cubed chicken thighs in here that I've already cooked, and they are currently still cooking. If you do not have chicken thighs or cannot find chicken thighs, another type of protein would be equally fine. You could do ground beef. You could do any kind of beef, actually, skirt steak, anything like that. Or you could also do pork as well. That would be very well incorporated into this dish. So I have already browned it, and I'm going to begin incorporating my other ingredients so we can get this in the oven to finish cooking. So I'm going to add about 2.5 tablespoons of taco seasoning, and this is our homemade taco seasoning. We have the recipe on our blog. I want to keep my heat fairly high for this. In order to thoroughly incorporate our seasoning through the entire 3 pounds of chicken and make sure that all the chicken is well seasoned, I'm going to be adding a little bit of water from my recently boiled kettle. And I just want to make sure that I add enough water to get all of our yummy bits off the bottom of our skillet. You can see that it will bubble up, and then that allows me to scrape all of our delicious bits off the bottom of the skillet, or whatever pan you are choosing to use for this recipe. Okay, so all of our taco seasoning is fully incorporated. The next thing that I want to add is about 1/3 cup of enchilada sauce. I'm just pouring that right in. You can use any brand that you like. I have been using Los Moches, which I get at my local grocery outlet, but just check on your enchilada sauce and make sure that you're buying the one that you can find for yourself that has the lowest amount of carbs. And of course, we are not using that much, and it is for the entire dish. So I have just stirred that in and incorporated it. The next thing that I'm going to add is some tomatoes. So this is an equivalent of about 1 tomato chopped. I have cherry tomatoes, and I'm using this here because it's something that I had in the refrigerator that I would like to use up. We are coming into summer, and people are going to have gardens, and they're going to have tomatoes, and it's a nice way to use up your vegetables. If you do not have access to fresh tomatoes, you could, of course, use canned or use like a Rotel type product. I'm just going to throw those in. If you do not care for tomatoes, you could, of course, omit that. As I stated in the intro, we have made several dishes that incorporate riced cauliflower. If that is something that you would like to add into this dish, you absolutely could. I have just chosen not to do that this time. I just wanted to keep it super simple. But this would work well with some riced cauliflower, or you could serve it on the side. Of course, this is a ketogenic dish, but if you have family members who are not eating the low-carb lifestyle, This would be very good served over rice, or you could also serve it with tortillas or chips for your family members who do enjoy carbs. Okay, so we have incorporated all of our ingredients. I'm going to turn the heat off now. Remember, we did indeed preheat our oven to 375 degrees. I'm going to remove my skillet from the heat and move it over here to this other burner while I add our final ingredient before it goes into the oven. So the final ingredient before our bake in the oven is I have 2 cups of shredded cheese here. That's 8 ounces. You can use any kind of cheese that you enjoy. I'm going to be using Kojak in keeping with our Mexican skillet theme. But like I said, you can use any kind that you would like. But the name of this is Cheesy Mexican Skillet. So we do want a fairly copious amount of cheese here. So I'm just going to sprinkle that in. And I'm going to give it a stir with my spatula. Just incorporating the cheese. Now, if you are using a cast iron skillet for this particular step, for this dish, I do want to note, and it will be in my blog post notes as well, that when you do use acidic products, such as tomato-based products or tomatoes themselves, it can tend to etch away the seasoning that you have accumulated on your cast iron pan. So after performing this dish, you may need to re-season your cast iron pan. I just wanted to note that as an FYI. Okay, into our oven. Once again, at 375 degrees. We are going into our oven and we are going to bake this for about 30 minutes. I'm ready to take our skillet out of the oven. I did broil the top of it for about 2 minutes. That is completely optional. I just like the golden brownness that broiling my casseroles tend to give the dish. I did want to note that when I put my skillet into the oven, I had my silicone handle holders for my cast iron skillet. That is why I was able to touch it and put it in the oven. It has been in the oven for 30 minutes, so even though it still has the silicone holders on it, I'm going to be using hot pads to remove it for extra safety. So you can see it's cheesy and golden brown. I'm going to let it sit here for about 5 minutes or so, and then I will plate it and serve it to CJ, and he can give us his opinion. There it is, nice and cheesy and yummy. No acrobatics, huh?
No, we fired the stunt double.
Oh, okay. Hi, CJ.
Hi.
It is time for another family-style Mexican favorite. So this is cheesy Mexican skillet. And I've given you some pico de gallo and some sour cream if you want it.
Okay. I'm not going to use it.
Okay.
I mean, not for the taste test. It's really good. Really flavorful. Did it have tomatoes in it before?
Mm-hmm. Yep, this is the one that I made and you said, why isn't this on the channel?
No, I know that part of it. I just didn't remember it having tomatoes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good. I might need some salt, but other than that. And this is one that will be better the next day.
Yes.
It will be.
And if you're using the homemade taco seasoning, it doesn't have salt in it, so you'll want to salt it.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you're using that, it doesn't have salt, so that's all. Just need some salt, but other than that, it's good. And I didn't use any of this, but I'm sure it would be good with the other
fancy toppings.
Yeah. So good job, baby.
Right.
I think people will like it. Easy to make.
Yeah, it's only got 5 ingredients.
Yep.
Yep.
So.
1 pan.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us again tonight, you guys. We hope that you enjoy the cheesy Mexican skillet. I know that we are definitely going to. We hope that you will consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so that you know when our new content goes up. We have keto conversations on Wednesdays, and that's where we get together and talk about different ketogenic topics on this lifestyle. Sometimes it's ketogenic food unboxings. Sometimes we talk about what we eat on this lifestyle, other things that pertain to the keto way of life. So you definitely don't want to miss out on that. Our new recipes go up on Sunday, and I make 2 savory and 2 sweet recipes a month. So definitely hit the bell so that you know when those go live. We are also on social media. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. And we release teaser photos of the foods that we are currently making. Also foods that we have made in the past and are remaking. Additionally, people who follow us on those platforms also put their photographs and their thoughts about the foods that we have made and are currently making. So definitely check us out there, and that is CJ's Keto Kitchen everywhere. If you need any information for this particular recipe, all of the tips and tricks that I learned while making it, and also CJ's follow-up, that can all be found on our blog, and that is CJsKetoKitchen.com. So we hope that you will check us out there as well. Please come back and see us again next time, and until that time, be well. Bye.